Eligibility of industry cluster. So before we understand the entire application process, let us have a quick understanding about the eligibility of the industry cluster. As you can see, the eligibility, there are four important criteria. The applicant cluster must have an understanding that they qualify out of the four criteria, all criteria. For other detailing, we request the industry clusters to visit the website mentioned here. Here you can find detailed operational manual and all the formats of application. The cluster selection process. First there will be advertisement by DGT and many other steps, as you can see. A very quick understanding of the guidelines, and we hope that the applicant clusters have gone through the operational manual in detail to ascertain what are the objectives of industry clusters and what they're supposed to do. So now let's take you through how to submit and prepare an application form. So application form is a PDF format. There's a question on the left side, and on the right side you have a response input box where you can enter your responses. So all the questions are of two types. Either you have option to type detailed information, or there are certain questions where you will supplying just yes or no. So very quickly, like that you'll fill all the forms. The application form has 3 sections, and the entire questions are there are about 9 questions sections divided into 3 sections. So if you fill it for your reference, there is a field application form. This field application form will help you understand how the application form has to be filled. It's a pre-filled form for your understanding. There is another video tutorial detailing each questions in very detail as to what is the expectation from industry cluster, how they will be providing the information. So this is just a quick overview of how the application form would look like by giving this application form in example, and you can make any changes according to your cluster character. You don't require any specific software to open this. This application form is available in PDF form in the website which we have mentioned in the first initial section of the video. It's a simple editable PDF format. All these responses are filled. So in the basic application form, you will see an empty section. Just to show you, like that, it will look like this, and you have to provide all the information. It's editable. Make sure your responses are specific in requirement, and it should not exceed the size of the table. You have to be very precisely in articulating your responses. As we have said, this is just a example application form which is pre-filled. Depending upon your cluster, it will be completely different. Now you might be thinking that this is just a PDF form where you can provide your information against these input boxes. Now we are also asking about submitting additional information. So for an example, if you want to complement any questions, so let's take example of a question. Let's say this question, which is asking about submit a proof or documents. So how will you do that? So all you have to ensure that you make a separate PDF form for any document. You make a separate document and title, just save the document in the name of a question. So let's say this is a C, I think 3C, question number 3C. So whatever other supporting documents you want to attach to support the question, you just make a separate PDF file and save it as a 3C, and then you have to submit it later. We will show you how to submit it also. So this is a first application form. Okay, now as it is asking about support letters also, because if you can see, it is asking about upload support letters. So that's a second requirement. So one, this field application form, then support letters. You will also see a format of the support letters in the download section provided in the link. Here, just to showcase you the example support letters, you can see support letter in the letterhead of a company, properly addressed to the organization, the association, which is submitting this application form, properly signed by the authority, it is stamped, and also the proof of the company, the registration document of the company, like that. You can see many other support letter examples. As you can see, this is all the support letters submitted by the industry clusters are in one PDF form. So that's the second requirement. So first was field application form. Second is a letter of support. And then third, there is an Excel format which you have to fill. This is an Excel format. This Excel format will capture the details of the members which are being represented by the cluster. So this is a columns. For the column numbers 6 to 9, there is additional notes as to how will you fill it. So if you go to the trail section of the document, you will see the notes, how will you submit these responses. So let's take a quick example of how to submit this. Small, just say S. I'll take you to a filled form as to how it looked like. It looks like this once it is completed and filled completely. And that's it. So there are three requirements. First is your application form, field application form, then the letter of support, and then the field Excel format. After this, you have to submit this application online. Please note that only email applications are required, and there is a specific format for that. So I'll show you that one. Use your regular email. This is an email address which you have to provide. striveclusters@gmail.com, and please ensure the subject line, it has to be IC application and the state name from where you are applying. Suppose you are IC cluster from Bihar applying this application, so simply say IC application Bihar. Please do not make any changes in the subject format other than IC application and state name, otherwise it will be difficult for us to read and finalize and filter the application formats. So, and attach all the field application form. For example, here you have one application form is attached, second is the support letter PDF formats in one PDF file, and then the letter of the letter of support, here all the letter of supports in one PDF file, and the Excel format, which you have mentioned, and fill the application form. As we have said, 3 application documents. And here you can also see some supporting documents like 3C, which is a implementing answer to question number 3C, 2A, 1E. In the body, please follow the format which is mentioned. And that's it. Just send it and your application form is completed. Thank you.